Doom, 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 doom. What's up, my guys? Welcome to another show, NBA Talk with Jay Money and the Shark. My guy, Shark and Sports on Twitter, man. What's up, my guy? Everything cool with you?
Oh, absolutely. Mother's Day 2021, May 9th, 2021. Shot out of a cannon. I think we both not just got up, but it's a little early this morning. I feel like this is Mike and Mike in the mornings, but they get up at 5 in the morning. We're ready to go, ready to roll. We got a big slate today. We got a matinee doubleheader. If you're capping today and you're betting today, get prepared to have wagers in for 12 straight hours. I think people love that. People love the sweat. I think it's a little more business-like for us. We like to just get it over with and get some cash in our pocket. But nonetheless, it's going to be a beautiful day. Jay, what's going on today?
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good day, man. Busy day for me. I know, hey, got the, the new house, man. So trying to get off in there, everything nice and ready. Got to get it nice and pretty before we move into that one. So it's gonna be a crazy week, man. But hey, it's a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I got some time. It's early morning. We know it's an early game on, so people like to go and bet those matinee games. So I mean, we'll get right into it, man. We'll get right into it. First game up, my guys. Heat versus Celtics. And you know the people sitting at the sportsbooks right now, Shark. So I'm saying waiting for the show to come on to see what's up. Might have placed some bets, but might be waiting for us to steer them in the right direction. You dig what I'm saying? So first game up, we have the Heat versus Celtics here. We know that it was no Jaylen Brown announced early, you know what I'm saying, today that he wasn't going to play here. So Celtics won't be a full squad. They are coming off the 21-point blowout loss versus the Bulls there. So they are coming off a bad game. We do know that these do appreciate you guys in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, it's a huge. I had to drop a nice amount of money, my guys. So it's a huge step up, I must say. But yeah, Shark, we have the Heat here laying one now, my guy, on the road. Like I was saying, the home team, this early matinee games really favors the home team. What do you think in this one? You think both teams been so up and down this year, bro?
You just said it. You said it. And of course, we like to lead with the top typically top spot of the day. This is the bottom spot of the day. This is pretty much what you don't want to cap and you don't want to bet. When you find two teams that are highly inconsistent, razor sharply graded by books, and ultimately in this particular type of matchup, I say it every year, or every day, whatever. Again, we just woke up. Let's go. The Boston Celtics play the same game twice against these contenders. And you go back to the previous matchup. What do you have? You have 107-105, 2 points. And this comes in here on a 1 to 2 point spread. So the books are telling you nothing is going to change from the previous game. And I think capping this game and trying to bet this game, you're asking to just flip a coin. I think this is going to come down a stretch. I think it's going to be 1-2 buckets. And I think really significantly, there's not a whole lot of lean. One comment I'll make on Miami. Miami has been all over the grid. I mean, they've had injuries. They've had a lack of motivation. They went to the finals. They were fatigued. We say it every day. They had COVID. They've had more streaks than I think any team, really. I mean, there's been ATS streaks this year, but they've had straight up streaks. The only other team that comes to mind that has been just as streaky is Sacramento, where they'll win 10 and win 10, lose 10, win 10. It's like, guys, what is the deal? And Miami's about to get their quality checked here. Miami's next 4 games are against Boston, Philly, and Milwaukee twice. So if you're going to say anything about the motivational environment in their mind, Miami might turn up here. We coasted the whole freaking year, and then 4 out of our last 5 at Boston, at Philly, Milwaukee. Miami going to turn it up, Jay? What do you think?
In all honesty, I would take the Heat here. I don't like the fact that obviously it's an earlier game or whatever, and they're not at the house. I'm a real hard believer that these matinee games really do favor the home team. If there was a time where I would fade the home team, it would likely be this one. We have saw the Celtics play a couple of matinee games earlier this year and not necessarily fare well. They weren't the home team in those games. So, I mean, it is a nice little point to point out here. Like I say, and so the last game, Jaylen Brown played 36 minutes. He had him and Tatum, obviously, they make the team go. You know what I'm saying? Against a team like the Heat are really good. Like, if they lock in defensively, I think that they can get this one done. But if we see the Heat team that we've been seeing, the inconsistency as far as on the offensive end, you know what I'm saying? Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson hadn't really hadn't taken that step up this year like they should have. So it's just a crazy game. I must say, I would take the Heat here with this being revenge. I remember that last game. Remember how the Celtics played. They came and stole that one down the stretch. And Jaylen Brown had 21 points in that game. Tatum had a high of 27. Let's see, Jaylen Brown did a lot of other things in that game. He had 12 rebounds, 5 assists. So he pretty much put together like a complete game. I think the missing Brown will show here. The Celtics, in my opinion, I think the Heat have more to play here, I guess is what I'm saying. So lean Heat, but it's not I'm really hesitant taking the road team in this early morning game. I mean, this is just like we just woke up. That's how the players finna come up here. What you think, bro? This total steamed up from 216.5 up to 222. What do you think? I think that these early games kind of tend towards the under.
On the total, after getting beaten down another total last night, I'm just done with totals. Forget totals for me. But going back to that point, I would lean Miami here as well. I do think the revenge factor holds weight. And I think what I just said about how Miami definitely can focus and turn it up when they want to, obviously showcasing the playoffs last year, but showcase within this season too. I mean, even going back to the very beginning of the season, they got blown out by Milwaukee, 144-97. And the very next game, they came back and beat Milwaukee by 20 points. You lose a game by 50 points to a team, and then you come back and beat them by 20 the next night. That's all mindset. You're on or you're off. And I think when you look at them coming in here, I think that this is more of an on spot than an off spot for Miami mentally here.
Yeah, the Heat have won 4 out of the last 5. They've won 5 of the past 7, so they're starting to juice up. They pulled out that win versus Minnesota. We see the way the Timberwolves are playing. They were down in that game. Jimmy Butler is like, "No, man, we can't lose this game. We're not going to lose to these bums again." Him and Cat talking the whole game. So in theory, they're kind of coming off a big game, but it was versus Timberwolves. Like the Heat, they have to get into their zone before these playoffs start because we hadn't really seen it all year. So enough on this game. Like I say, heavy lean to Heat, but it's nothing that I'll be making official in this one, my guy. Let's go to one of these games we like, man. Let's go to. It's not the Timberwolves versus the Magic here, man. What do you think? A little playoffs finals preview here, man. Timberwolves. This line opened up at 6.5 last night. It's up to 7.5. I saw it touch 8 this morning. That's what I do. I just watch lines move all day, where the money's coming, where it's going. So this line touched 8. It's back down to 7.5 here. So with Magic getting 7.5 at the house here, Shark. We've seen them before in these type of situations get smacked up. We know the Timberwolves, even though they're a bottom tier team, they're not tanking. They're not resting players. They're really trying to show the fans what's to come from this year. That's what I was reading Russell's quotes. He's like, "No, we're trying to show the fans what to come. We're not laying down. We're coming to play every game, my guy." What are we doing here, my guy?
Well, we're doing nothing other than continuing that story. I mean, this is a great take on Minnesota here today. I was talking about it last night. I actually looked at it 2 days ago, and I said, wow, this is a great little spot for Minnesota. And not only is it a good spot to buy Minnesota, it's a great spot to fade Orlando. Since Orlando gutted their roster going back, whatever it was, 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago, don't quote me on the exact date. All I know is it's Mother's Day 2021. But they have been very good on the road, interestingly enough, ATS. They've actually won a couple of games on the road. They beat Chicago outright, 115-109 and a +9. They almost covered. They should have covered against Charlotte. They lost 122-112 on a +9. Obviously, razor sharp by books. But just their functionality. They travel well. They do not host very well at all against the spread. And you do find a revenge game here, interestingly enough. Orlando did beat Minnesota 97-96 going back to January. Of course, that was with Aaron Gordon, Vooch, and the different roster. But going to the other side of the aisle here, everything you just said is incredibly factual, and it pertains to this environment. Just like the other play of the day, which we will get to soon, this is mindset stuff, and it is numerical. Minnesota's trying to show out, and you've seen it. They've played about 15 straight good games. They're right there. I mean, this is not a team that's 20 games under 500. This team is a fringe playoff team potentially next year. I think they're ready to blow them out today. I think they win the game by 15 to 20 points.
And you know what, Shark? The coach that they have over there, they're starting to play. They're starting to juice up. I'm starting to see guys like. So I watched the last game versus the Heat. I've been watching since I've kind of taken a step back. So I've started to watch more games. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. So the Timberwolves are playing a whole lot better. This coach is juicing them up. He has players that weren't playing as well, playing really well. I saw Josh Okogie go to the rim. I'm talking about as fast as I've ever. Okogie is back. Like the Okogie, recover. You know what I'm talking about. Josh Okogie. This guy, he really is a baller. You see what I'm saying? So he came out of the woodworks. Some guys got injured. When Russell really got injured a couple of years ago, Okogie came out, was balling. Last year, this past few years with the coach, Saunders, he just wasn't there. Like Okogie is literally finna play his way out of the league. what I saw with my own two eyes, Kogi's back. The new coach is juicing the team up. They're coming to play. They're paying attention to defense. They're paying attention to offense. Towns and Russell, they're starting to juice up what they'll do with the later. So Russell come off the bench. But in the fourth quarter, they have Russell and Rubio together. I've been watching this team, man. They're going to make some guys a bunch of money next year. I can't wait to bet on them next year. I'm taking the Timberwolves, my guy. I already took them earlier this show, but put some on Timberwolves minus the 7.5, my guy. It looks super fishy. Timberwolves land 7.5 on the road. You really look into it. They're supposed to be this heavy of a favorite on the road. I like the Timberwolves to win by double digits, my guy. I like the way that they're juicing up. They're actually playing hard. They actually have a coach. It's like the Sacramento Kings. When they get an actual coach, we'll see them like real awesome shit, possibly make the playoffs. They have a good team to do it. It's just all the parts are gelling right now. Timberwolves for me, my guy. Raised by Wool. Wolves for me, my guy. Let's go to the next game. That my guy. What you want to go to next, man? You want to talk some Knicks? In theory, Knicks and Clippers would be the next game up as far as like time wise. But what Bulls. We got the Bulls. You know how Blackjack said the Bulls. Mm-hmm. Bulls. What we got, my guy? Bulls land 9 in Detroit.
Bulls -9, top play 1 and 1A. When you were talking about Minnesota and this motivation and showing out for the fans, again, the last week of the season is finding who wants to play. Zach LaVine the other night after beating Boston was on record on ESPN, looked like he was about to run through a wall himself. He's like, I did not come back from the injured list to coast the season. I came back to win out. We can make the playoffs. The guy, I mean, trust me, like we always talk about psychology. I'm looking into this guy's soul, and I was like, oh, my God, this guy is about to just rampage the league. And you look back at what they did the last 2 games. They blew out Charlotte on the road by 20. I wasn't expecting that. I thought there was going to be growing pains off the injured list, new roster. Nope, blowout from the get. Trifecta style. Game 2, back-to-back, road home against the Celtics, who should have been fresh. Blowout. Trifecta again. And again, in the NBA, we say this every day, it's finding teams that are going to give you 48 minutes. The talent gaps are almost irrelevant to how much they're going to try. And right now, I think you're finding the Bulls just absolutely on one for the rest of the year. And then you take the other side. You do find Detroit here coming home off of a game last night against Philly. They're on a 3rd and 4, on a back-to-back. And this is the 3rd matchup of the year. And within this division, I've been tracking the Bulls all year in terms of the line functionality. The line does matter. They laid 3 points at home and pushed on a 105-102. Then they went on the road and laid 3 and won 186. And I always say that on the road it should come down. It's stuck, and they blew them out. Now it comes up to 9. And they're really telling you a great story here. This is an incredibly strong line. It reminds me of mid-major college basketball with huge talent gaps where the lines are big, and oftentimes public cappers get caught on the value and the underdog because there's just a lot of space and shit. No, trust me, this is a blowout waiting to happen. I think the Bulls win this game by 20 to 25 points.
Yeah, I couldn't talk you off of it, my guy. I couldn't talk you off. Yeah, now what did he say? Yeah, I appreciate you. He say hit the like button, my guy. Hit the my guy knows the guy in the chat. That's my guy right there, man. I had to bring that one up, man. He's gonna be making a nice little announcement today as well, man. But yeah, my guy Shark said I looked into his soul, my guy. That's some deep shit right there. I must say, Bulls land 9 here on the road. I must say it'll look like something that we don't want to touch. I must say I can only look towards Bulls here. Still want to see who's gonna play for the Pistons. They've been doing this jerky shit where they obviously rest their top 6 guys. Don't see them on the injury report today because obviously most of them rested yesterday. They are coming off a back-to-back 3rd game in 4 nights, coming off a game versus Philly. They pretty much got smacked up. So I don't know what to do with this Detroit team. This is pretty much an actively tanking team. They've only won 2 of their past 10 games. And the game versus the Grizzlies, they literally tried to lose their game as well. The Grizzlies just handed it away to them. So, I couldn't talk you off the Bulls here. It's not something that I'll be on, but I could definitely see where you're going here. I love your points on it. They have beaten the Pistons, handled the Pistons twice already this year, so they do make it look to make it a sweep. Just me, I don't want to lay the 9 on the road. It's just me, but I do think that they'll get it done by double digits. Just something. Sometimes I've been looking at these favorites, man. They just be coming out here just bullshit. It's not saying that the Bulls are going to do it. It's been teams like the 76ers team that's already have their play-in spot already, already cemented in. So definitely lean to Bulls. I'm not looking to take the Pistons pretty much ever. They are getting a boatload of points here. Like I say, see who's playing, but definitely lean to Bulls for me. It's not something. It's likely just be on Timberwolves today, my guy.
One final point on that. Taking it to a slightly different matchup, but still the Pistons. The Knicks blew out the Pistons 3 times. And in the third matchup, and this was on a matinee on a Sunday, I believe we went on there. I think I had a few cocktails the night before. Jay was a little bit impatient with me on that morning. But I told you guys that the Knicks were going to go in there, and that was a double revenge game for Detroit in that spot. And the Knicks blew them out 125-81. And that was the third matchup of the year. The line was coming up on the road. It was the exact same line functionality, similar roster groups. You got Knicks and Bulls. Knicks obviously a slightly better coach, but young guys, focused, really pissed off. You're finding that with the Bulls tonight. I think it's a 20-point win. So let's ride the wave and let's continue on this board.
It's right the wave, my guy. I remember that game, bro. The Knicks was coming off a terrible loss, so that's why they smacked the shit out them boys. Yeah. I remember now. I'm like I said, I'm not looking to bet the Pistons right now. I'm not looking to bet them pretty much ever. Not at this point in the season. Not a whole lot of motivation. They probably got their bags packed. You see what I'm saying? Where are we going? Where are we going to Cabo? Where are we going to Iceland or something? Where are we going this time, baby? We got $1 million, so we go wherever the hell we want. Private jet. See what I'm saying? But let's go to, speaking of Knicks, let's go to this Knickerbockers. Might as well. The Knickerbockers versus the Clippers. Got my guy in the chat trolling. My guy, his name is Thick Dick McGee. It's just funny, man. Let's go to the Knickerbockers versus the Clippers here, Shark. I believe this line was up to 9. This line opened up at 9. Like I said, it's all I do. Whether I'm betting or not, I look at the lines. I see where the money's coming in. This line was at 9. So some money is coming in. Pounded the Knicks basically overnight, Shark. Woke up this morning, it says 7.5 across the board for the Clippers here. We know they've been up and down. We know that a lot of people are still in love with the Knicks, even though they're coming off 2 straight smashers. I think they just got smacked, didn't cover the spread or anything. This Clippers pretty up and down team. What you think in this one, my guy? The Clippers, you like the Clippers here, 7.5, or we take the points with the Knicks?
Oh man, this is a tough one. It really is. And you just made the comment. People are still in love with the Knicks. Sorry, ESPN keeps playing their stupid commercials. Letting me down at all points in time, just all over the place. Anyway, it's just tough because, again, after going off a 15-1 ATS stretch, to get back to more of a normalized ATS average, even an above-average ATS team in the NBA is only covering 55-58% of the time, generally speaking. So when you're covering almost 100% of the time for almost a quarter of the season, you're not, to get back to your average, it's not like you're going to lose one and then just bounce back to covering 95% again. You're supposed to not cover a lot and cluster the other direction to get back to your average. And again, it's just all statistical frequencies. Like, this is just where they're going. It's unavoidable. So just from that standpoint, zooming out a little bit, it's not necessarily about this particular game. It's about just where they're going in this late season. They're supposed to come down against the spread and their efficiency. And you're seeing it. They're getting a quality check. Obviously, this is a totally different opponent type. West road trip. Denver, Phoenix. Phoenix got them twice. I think a reasonable corollary here is the fact that the Clippers did beat them by 14 in Madison Square Garden. The Phoenix did cover at Madison Square Garden, came home, laid a similar figure in terms of the line gap, and still covered. Of course, it was in the fourth quarter, but the Knicks have been poor in the fourth quarter on the road all year. They're a first-half team to the max, and then they have the trouble sustaining that down the stretch. And I think that today, if you had to take anything from me, I'm taking the Clippers.
Got you. Yeah, it's a crazy game, man. I must say, you made some really good points there, and a couple of injuries that people are not thinking about either. Quickly and Burks off the what's up? My guy Sean Dozier say, I can see Clippers resting someone. I don't think so. For the Clippers, simple fact that the Clippers need to, they just reeled off 3 straight losses, 0-5 against the spread streak. You see what I'm saying? They won the past 2. They come off a game where they finally covered and finally smacked somebody up. You see what I'm saying? Maybe got their feet wet a little bit, or a game where they really didn't have a conversation with players from the other team. You see what I'm saying? But enough of that. But so look, Quickly and Burks, guys, are the main 2 ball handlers for the Knicks. They already look different, even without Burks. Quickly, I really think he's one of those type of guys, role player type of guys that really makes the Knicks what they are. He plays hard, 100%, he gives 110% the whole time he's out there. Defense, offense. He's an underrated, smart type of guy as well. It's kind of like a baby Halliburton. And like I say, these are 2 very underrated players that a lot of people don't look at. The fact that they're doubtful here again definitely helps the fact for the Clippers, in my opinion. Like the Knicks, the way they've been doing all this, it's been full squad. Like they're top to bottom, 1 through 10. They hit. Well, I'm gonna say no, not Kevin Knox. Maybe 1 through 9. You see what I'm saying? The Knicks, they can ball. They play really good defense, play really good offense. It's just when you're missing 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 a couple of parts like that. When you're a team that does it collectively, it can really show. So it's crazy. It's crazy. I actually I want to say lean Clippers, but I don't have anything on this game. I can see it going either way. I think the line's pretty sharp. I could see Clippers winning by 8. I could see the Knicks trying to step up after a couple because even though they still have that style of play where it's just they play harder than most 90% of the rest of the team. So if the Clippers come in all willy-nilly, I can see the Knicks like coming in with their defense. So tough game, man.
I mean,
tough game, bro.
No, on that point, I agree. I mean, I think the Knicks will probably come out well again. Obviously, capping first quarter and first halves can be difficult, but I do think if you were looking towards the Knicks, it would come in the first half again.
They fade second half like they did last game.
Yeah, they have, and they've had that fade in the fourth quarter against all different opponent types too. It's not just against the contenders. One that comes off the top of my head is the Minnesota game on the road. They were up by 20 points in the fourth quarter, and they only won, and they didn't even cover the game. They actually lost outright. They just have trouble closing. And, closing is just a veteran thing. You learn to win in the NBA. You're always getting the opponent's best energy the last 5 minutes of the game. You might be a little more burned out, so you have to adjust to that. You have to maybe save a little energy and, et cetera, et cetera. But they'll learn. But at this current state, they're not that good down the stretch. So you could see a backdoor here for the Clippers by, 10, 11, 12. But it's definitely no play for me.
Yeah, my guy in the chat says Tyler Dorso said Knicks running out of gas. He said Knicks run out of gas. Could be. This is the 5th game of the road trip. They have one more game versus the Lakers. So I'll be watching this one. These Lakers are really interesting to me right now, bro. We'll talk about that later. But it's some fishy shit going on in the NBA right now. I'll be the first to say it. We'll talk about it later, but I'm just gonna talk some shit through you guys real quick. Let's go through some more games, man. I don't have anything on Mavs Cavs. I must say they're going on a roll in basically the same number. Actually, the number gets even bigger, so this could be a spot where the Mavs actually don't take me serious. I'm not betting the Cavs right now. The Cavs are no bet. It's just that simple right now. It's either you take Mavs or not, and I'm not letting they live on the road. In theory, they should smack them up. You don't bet the Cavs right now. You just don't. Especially you see all the shit going on with Kevin Love. They even resting the other day. They still get smacked. Pelicans versus Hornets, my guy. Pelicans versus Hornets. We see this team. Scott Foster probably had them. You know what I'm saying? Scott Foster, the Pelicans special. They were getting smacked by 17 in their 76 game. I was watching that game. They didn't play Embiid. Basically, the third quarter, they like, all right, we're gonna bring them back when they down 7. When they go down 7, 1-0, you're up 17. Now you go down 101-94. I've never seen anything like it. Then they decide to juice back up, have to win the game, a whole nother game. I've never seen anything like this shit, Shark. I'm sorry. Scott Foster is the most jankiest ref I've ever fucking seen. You see Scott Foster in the game, do not bet it, my guys. But Pelicans versus Hornets here. The Hornets land 4 versus no Zion, maybe no Brandon Ingram, possibly no Adams. Pelicans still got some ballers over there. What you think in this one? Do they still have a shot at the play-in tournament?
I don't think they do. But in terms of this particular game, there will definitely not be official take for me on this one. However, I said this last night. I went on there at like 2 in the morning on Twitter, and I was just making the comment that beware of the play-down factor here for Charlotte. Obviously, I think that the public is going to come extremely heavy on Charlotte here. It does seem very obvious. Players are out. It's a bit of a short number, et cetera, just like
real short.
Yeah. What people unfortunately do look for, where theoretically you should look at the opposite. It's not that easy usually. So I would say beware. The play down factor is massive, and you saw it with Philly. And I think you do get not only a play down factor, you do get a play up factor from guys that are trying to prove their worth on the second unit of the Pelicans. This is a revenge game for the Pelicans. Charlotte did win 118-110 in New Orleans going back months ago, which I don't think has a lot of applicability here, different roster and whatever. But something to keep in mind. It's always a motivational point for the group and coming in here. But just a loose comment, I would be a little bit wary of laying points here. I think this could be a little bit tighter than people think.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, bro, I think I saw that it was up to 4.5. I believe it opened at 4.5 and down to 4. So that's another thing that's not necessarily good if you like it. So let me see. Yeah, the Hornets already beat them on the road. This is my problem. Let me see real quick. I know they get Nickeil Alexander back. This is my problem with the Pelicans, that they still have some guys. They still have guys that'll come to play, that'll come to juice up. Obviously, Zion is their best player by far. You know what I'm saying? Maybe say Brandon Ingram after that. So when I saw in the last game, Lonzo and Bledsoe pretty much hadn't quit. You see what I'm saying? That's what you want to keep an eye out for. Because I'm like, okay, who are the rest of their guys that they have out there? They have Lonzo Bledsoe, got Najee Marshall. He just got signed to a contract extension. That's another thing that guys want to pay attention to. Guys right now, just because we don't know who their name are, you see what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that they're not playing for a contract extension or not playing. These are guys, lower tier NBA players, still good enough to be in the league, trying to get on a team. If not the team they're on, trying to get on another one. Look at the Houston Rockets right now. They're playing guys that we don't know anybody. They just covered the spread versus the Bucks and the Jazz. We're resting all of their top guys. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a prime example to where late in the season, some of these no-name guys, they really out here playing hard. They do get Nickeil Alexander Walker back as well. James Johnson ballers. Let me see. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Call me crazy. I lean towards the Phillies. Lean Phillies. I'm not betting it, though. There's no way in hell I'm betting it. I think they still have an outside chance of the play-in tournament. Just real quick, I have to go see who's riffing the game. I'm sorry. This shit matters, especially because I'm a firm believer that the Lakers are not going to be in the 7th seed. I'm a firm believer that I think the Pelicans they want to get just real quick start. So let me see. So we got Brent Barknicki, Zach Zarba, and Justin Van Doon. Nothing strong there. Nothing strong, my guy.
Not exactly your household names there.
Nah, for real. I'll be honest with you. Just the last one I actually know of. But there are some. I've been watching these refs, man. I'm just starting to see for next season who are the refs we want to watch and who are the refs that don't matter. Because a few of them matter. I don't care what anybody says. I've seen some patterns here, my guys. Let's get to the next games. Let's see. We talked about that. Only two more games. There's no way in hell I'm talking about OKC Kings. So let's talk about Suns versus 9.5 points with the Kings. Good God. We land 10 with the Kings, though it's versus the Thunder. I must say it's Kings or nothing, but oh boy.
Yeah.
What you think in the game, bro? Kings, they land 10 here.
Kings
bro, the Thunder?
It's terrible.
Look at the Thunder, bro. Why are they even
there's just so many spots here.
Oh my God.
You can't.
The Thunder making me hate the NBA now, bro. Like, sorry, what are we doing?
These are just not like NBA spots. You know, you have it's just like when you go to like good NBA capping, which is like on a normal season, like in the middle of January, you know, you're getting full efforts, well-coached teams, full stadiums, crispy cold air in Philadelphia. This is the polar opposite of like good NBA basketball. Guys that don't care, G League rosters, poor coaching, empty stadiums. Like, just don't get me started. It's just you can't cap this. You don't want to cap it. It's total trash. So I guess we should go to the last game, nightcap. NBA TV here. They got a quadruple header on Mother's Day. I was saying last night. Shout out to NBA for doing it right. They love their women, and rightfully so. And we got Lakers hosting the Suns. I don't have anything on this one. Truthfully, I'm not really liking involving myself with the Lakers off of a road cover at Portland. I think if anything, they come home and they don't function very well. I hate to constantly just give out favorites here because it's not my nature, but this is kind of the environment of this NBA season right now. It's very top heavy. It's been the most public season we've seen in a long time. And Jay and I are trying to adjust to it because obviously just autopiloting taking dogs when favorites are covering is not going to get you any money. So, but I do think that Phoenix would be maybe a mild lean here, catching the Lakers coming off a road cover at Portland. And Phoenix has traveled very well all year within the West. They're better ATS against the West than the East, I do believe. And I think this is a reasonable spot for Phoenix here if you're looking for late night action.
Yeah, now real quick, you remember I was telling you about everybody in the chat. Most people know this guy King Real. That's Thick Dick McGee. King Real didn't. Well, how low of a point do you have to be to come on as a different name? You see what I'm saying? And talk shit. I'm just a firm believer. If you come on as you are and talk your shit, you see what I'm saying? And the people that we know you from, my guys, Suns, Lakers. This line's going up 6, 7.5. I'll be honest, guys. I think the league is going to be helping the Lakers out. So look, the Suns, their defense is sliding, guys. I must tell you, their defense is sliding. It's almost like Monty Williams told, all right, we're just going to scale back on the defensive end to, you know what I'm saying, the end of the year. They are missing Cam Johnson as well. The coach himself says that they're not the same team missing Cam Johnson. They did just blow out the Knicks. They did get down by half. What I'm saying is, I think the Suns, what do you like to say? I think the Suns are teetering. I think they're teetering along that line there. You know what I'm saying? And we saw it versus the Hawks. They got smacked up. Come back to the house and smack up the Knicks. Only after getting down. They were down, I think, at halftime or something in that game. But in this particular game, bro, like I say, the Lakers right now, they don't have any guards. You see what I'm saying? They've lost 2 in a row. They played a really representative game over there in Portland. I must say, they played a really good game. They're showing that Anthony Davis can really take over any game. So they do have that dynamic here. that they have what Andre Drummond, they have Davis, and they have Gasol to go up against Aiden. Because if we look at the Suns, they don't have a lot of bigs, bro. You see what I'm saying? It's mainly wings, and then you have Chris Paul and, you know what I'm saying, Cam Johnson, Cameron Payne coming off the bench. Me personally here, bro, it's Lakers or nothing for me. I'm not looking to lay the points with the Suns here on the road. The line's going up. The public will think that it's easy. You see what I'm saying? If the Lakers don't win this game, I think they at the worst cover, and I think that the league is in the business of helping them out. I've seen it with my own two eyes, my guys. So Lakers are nothing for me. Last game of the board, the last favorite. I'd be taking the dog in this game.
Okay, yeah, fair. I mean, I'm definitely not on the Sun, so I don't disagree. I think there's definitely a merit point to that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, AD is getting right, guys. He is an unstoppable player. Just the way I'm looking at it, what the Lakers been doing, they see they don't have any guards, so they're going with the bigs. They'll run a pick and roll with Drummond and AD, which is virtually unstoppable. AD can just deny the pick, go straight to the rim. I've seen that plenty of times. Or he can use it and go with the lob with Drummond. With them just having Aiden out there, no real bigs, I could see I'll be honest, I could see the Lakers win this game, and I hate to say, but I think the NBA is in the business of helping them get out of the play-in tournament. I don't think that the Lakers will end in that 7th seed, but like I say, I know that the Suns been hot. Last time they went on the road, they did get smacked up. Lakers coming off a couple losses. They've lost they've lost 4 out of the past 5 games, my guys. So like I say, I'm not on the Lakers, but I'd only be looking towards the Lakers here in this spot, especially coming off that loss like that, the last one. I do think they're going to stack up some wins here, LeBron or no LeBron, which right now they may be better without him. I think the Lakers plus 7.5 is a strong take here, my guys. It's just for what it's worth. If I do hop on it, I might go back on here later. It's the last game of the day. Look into some more stuff. Like I say, 9 o'clock tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern. This game. I think it's a sharp side, my guys. I think it's a revenge spot as well. It's everybody on Suns here, Shark. Everybody's on Suns.
It is a
yeah, the whole world is on Suns here, my guys. So it's definitely a spot that I'll never be okay with being on. Missing Cam Johnson as well again. And one more thing. So Kuzma is doubtful here. Caruso's questionable. So Kuzma being doubtful, that's going to take the lineup some more. I don't think it'll matter. You see how bad of a game he played last game. They'll likely be better without. They're basically benching Kuzma this game because he dyed his hair. You see what I'm saying? Nah, I'm messing with you. But Shark, let them know your officials before we get out of here, my guy.
We always go street gambling because that's where the access points are. The less eyes on the game, the less sharp lines they are, and the better transparency you can find. Chicago Bulls -9, traveling to Detroit, 3rd matchup of the year, off a push at home, a blowout on the road. It continues here. The lines coming up drastically, and Zach LaVine is possessed by basketball Hall of Fame greatness to dominate. I think this is a blowout win. And the J Money Sharks and Sports alignment play of the day. Jay, you want to close them out on it?
Yeah, I'm going with the Timmies, man. -7. How do you think it'll be a full moon tonight? Oh, hey, y'all, howl like the Wolves, man. We howl like the Wolves. We're raised by Wolves. All that shit, man. I think that's their Twitter hashtag as well, raised by Wolves. So I'm going with the Timberwolves here, guys. Nothing's guaranteed. I must say, I mean, it is kind of sort of heavy fade, but this is like my guy says, a fade of the Magic. It's a buy on the Timberwolves. I do think they're getting into a zone. I do think that they're starting to peak at the right time. They want to bring some momentum into the next season. They have a coach. They have a full squad right now. Well, it's minus McDaniels. He was a starter for them, but still, guys, like I say, Okaji is a prime example to where the mindset has flipped for the Timberwolves. You see Karl Anthony Towns playing hard. You see D'Angelo Russell going hard. You see Rubio. I like what I'm saying, this Timberwolves team. The Magic, we know they're not necessarily trying to stack up wins here, my guys. So they even started going as far as resting Wendell Carter Jr. Regardless who plays for the Magic, regardless who plays for the Timberwolves, like a -7.5 top play, my guys. Let's go, man. Timberwolves, man. Let's do it. We raised by Wolves. Full moon tonight, man. Let's cash. This is my guy, Shark. I'm your host, Jay Money, man. That's my guy there, Shark. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. 418 live people watching, guys. Please hit the like button. We know those ones that's hitting the dislike, but it's all good, man. You're still coming to watch. Please, it's all positivity here, guys. We got 400 people positive. We're going to have like 5 that's not, but it's all good, guys. You know what I'm saying? It has to be an average, right? It has to be a balance. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Please hit the like button, subscribe, go and follow us on Twitter, and let's cash today, my guys. We back. We'll likely be back tomorrow. We out. Appreciate y'all, man. All positive vibes. Fuck the haters.